Currently, there is a lot of madness because Chan's ex-boyfriend Ronnie recently died in a ridiculously senseless act of violence. In case you haven't heard, supporters think there's a mystery going on behind the scenes. For months, Ronnie has maintained that he is the biological father of Khan's son, Pran Jr., in case you missed it. Blueface has wavered between claiming the boy and disputing the paternity, which has led to a great deal of turmoil around Khan's paternity. Currently, there is a conspiracy theory concerning Ronnie's death, with some saying that he was alive because he was the genuine father and was going to reveal some serious, untrustworthy information. Could you tell me what's going on here and what secrets Ronnie died with? Without intending to be judgmental, I think that everyone anticipated that this would be a heated mess from the minute Chrisean said she was expecting, given Blueface and Chrisean were not a well-known couple. Blueface quickly began acting out, claiming that Chrisean was trying to pass off another man's child as his own, and that the child wasn't his. Adding a child to the mix was a definite way to end things. Your queries were answered by him on Twitter. "I'm done with Rock, all right. It's business. I gave it a try, but it was definitely not provided." Prior to disclosing that she was having a kid from someone else rather than mine, Brack had dated 11 guys in the past year. However, I discovered it wasn't a Blueface and wasn't mine after witnessing a DNA test. For Chrisean, baby Blueface demanded a DNA test to settle the issue once and for all. Chrisean finally consented to taking the test after some back and forth, and the results showed that Blueface was indeed the father. There was not the least trace of doubt or uncertainty on his part that he was not the father.
What?
It says the alleged father is not excluded as the biological father of the fetus.
Let me hear the father. Babe, that's me, your father.
It's not.
You're the father.
He was going to keep mistreating her, so he started to persuade Chrisean to get rid of the baby. For example, he texted Chrisean, "I will always be unfaithful. I will honestly not conceal it at all. I'll be with the next young bee, and you'll be trapped at home with the baby. You don't want to be stuck with someone like me given how I already feel about you, and a baby will make things difficult." He was wrong if anyone believed that knowing he was the father would improve his behavior toward her or cause him to feel guilty. He went on a Twitter rampage after she refused, declaring that he would never pay child support and that he didn't want the child. He declared, "Whoever the judge is on me child support case, I told this girl I don't want the baby. She still has time to get rid of it, and she's forcing it on me, so you better make the price right. She's trying to trap me." Blueface made it clear to everyone, including Chrisean, that he had no regard for her or the unborn kid throughout the whole pregnancy. After the kid was born, his attitude suddenly shifted, even though he had encouraged her to terminate the pregnancy. Concerned for the infant, he started to wrest custody away from Chrisean. The turn of events happened when Chrome failed to put. The infant was given the name Chrisean Malone Jr. on the birth certificate since her first and last names were listed instead of Blueface's, with Chrisean spending the entire 9 months attempting to convince everyone, including Blueface, that the baby was his and pressing him to accept it. This made a lot of people pay attention. Chrisean acknowledged that she and Blueface had split up by then, though, which perhaps clarifies her choice. It seemed that Chrisean and Blueface made up a week after Chrisean gave birth. They appeared to get along well, and he even made the trip to Timor to see her and the child. Chrisean even captioned a picture he shared of the two of them. It would have made sense for her to finally include Blueface on the birth certificate at this point because Daddy and I were back together, and everything seemed to be going smoothly. That didn't quite add up though, especially after all the turmoil they had. She surprisingly didn't. People were confused because she didn't make it public, even though you would assume that if they were truly back on track, she would have. He soon started causing trouble once more, and she said Blueface was attempting to punish her for not naming the child. She wrote on Twitter, "He's Chrisean Jr., not Jonathan Jr., so I'm not fit. You want to remove my child because I named him after myself, so tell them that. I am stuck with a manipulator who thinks I am slow or stupid. Please, Blue, don't use taking my baby away from me as leverage. Instead, worry about your probation. I've got paperwork. More John than Porter. The question of why Chrisean left Blueface off the birth certificate was raised again when the child was born. The reason for listing him as the father was that she had agreed to a DNA test during her pregnancy. The justification could perhaps be far more complex than anyone had first thought. The possibility that Chrisean had completely falsified the DNA test started to grow. This is when Ronnie, Chrisean's ex-boyfriend, came forward to claim the baby as his own, declaring, "You are not the father, Blueface." He posted pictures of the two of them side by side to show how similar they appeared. Chrisean also liked a post that said Ronnie was the baby daddy, which seemed to confirm the rumors. Then Ronnie showed a tape that showed they had sex while she was pregnant with Chrisean Jr.
I got concrete evidence right here for y'all. All I want y'all to do is hold people accountable so that Chrisean Jesus Porter can have the life that he deserves and the father that he deserves. All I'm saying is I think that what happened was Blue told her to go get her. In the process of her going to his baby, she got pregnant with mine. And that's why she's scared to do a DNA test. I want to make sure that Chrisean, Eugenia, Malone hears me loud and clear. Make this easier for me and make this easier for yourself by doing the right thing. You may be going through postpartum right now. You may be going through the mental baggage of being a mother and not having a good role model of a mother. You need someone that will hold you accountable and that will help Junior get the proper care that he needs. At the end of the day,
following that, Blueface posted on Twitter saying, "I don't think that's my baby, and I knew something was off. I found that DNA test to be a little strange. I had no influence over the test, and it appeared to be phony." In addition, the man who claims the child lives in Boer, and you and the claimed father reside in Los Angeles. So why would you have the child in Boer? They appear to be much more alike than I am. How do you all feel? "I have 2 babies and a baby mama," he continued. "Until further notice, kids, I am free." He also mentioned how odd it was that the DNA results were ready when Chrisean handed them to him, stating, "I didn't even consider that the paper was folded up, and the merit test never looked like that." When asked, "Tell me why I snuck and swabbed this baby," he also admitted that he had conducted a secret DNA test that had yielded negative results. "Even though I was coming, it was bittersweet to learn that I am not the father. I can certainly get around to it, but it's definitely in my best interest. Much obliged." The person Jesus apparently, Ronnie was the father at this point. His repeated demands for a DNA test have put him in the news once more in recent weeks. Since she doesn't want people to find out, Khan has been refusing to get the baby medical help, despite suspicions that he has a condition. Ronnie allegedly desired to get the boy A for medical conditions, but he passed away tragically just outside his house, thus that never came to pass. Though the full event is still unknown, police were contacted, and by the time he reached the hospital, he had been pronounced dead. At just 24, he had a bright future ahead of him, so this is incredibly terrible. Already, conspiracy theories are abound over how he was picked out for exposing Chrisean for. As you are all aware, Blueface would have been the most likely suspect, thus I believe it is fortunate that he is presently incarcerated. Let me know your thoughts on Ronnie's death under these dubious circumstances, and view the following video. Honestly, I don't think Chrisean is strong enough to conceal his child by lying.